Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Yeah, all can hear me, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, today we're going to have just a short 1 hour class to discuss on your assignments. If you don't have any questions or anything to show me, then we'll finish really early. I have my pre-recorded lecture on life cycle costing and also value and engineering. About, I think, 30 to 40 minutes each for you all to listen to after this. So after the class, I will post up the notes and the pre-recorded lectures for you all to go through and listen at your own leisure before the next class. And next week, Dr. Lee will take over to talk to you about engineering economics and also some of the calculation of net present value, how to calculate present value, and cost benefit ratios, this sort of things, and then also annual cost methods. So these are very calculation-based kind of topics, okay? So basically, I need you all to settle your work breakdown structures by these 2 weeks, and then on the 5th week, she comes in and give you class on time, resources, and time management. That is whereby you need to start to finish up your first your first is a individual assignment. Yes, your first is an individual assignment. So you need to finish that up as soon as possible so that when we come back for your cost management, we can start to do your group project already. Yeah. So this is the flow for the next few weeks. Actually today I'm having a diarrhea, so that's why I have to, I don't know, I hope I'm not going to run to toilet halfway through the classes. Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing that for the whole yesterday. So I'm actually trying to maybe too much of good food during Chinese New Year, and now it's payback time. Anyway, yeah, so I'm actually not feeling very well. So yeah, I thought I would just make it a short class anyway. But I've got some pre-recorded lectures that I've got prepared already for you all. It's a good thing that I did prepare some pre-recorded lectures. I don't know if I can last three hours here. Anyway, the other thing is there are people who are taking RP2 and RP1. So those of you who are officially registered for RP1 and RP2, for those RP1 people, I assume that you've already confirmed your supervisors, confirmed your topics, and most of those four of you, you have already started on your literature review. In fact, your first draft should be out. I mean, like, not to say first draft, but at least some form of draft should be out in next week. Your first literature review draft. So literature review should take about maximum of about 8 to 10 weeks. I think that would be the quite max. 10 will be really, really max. So now it's week 3 already. So if you haven't got a topic, you haven't got a supervisor, I would seriously suggest you drop, because you can't take it like lengang, because the time is very short. And by 6th of February, 6th of May, you will do a presentation. If you've got nothing to present, I mean, there's sort of student who is like, oh, it's like, I'm not sure, I'm thinking about it, and ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, until week 6, and they say, Dr. Ting, I cannot do it, I think I want to drop, it's like too bad, when you drop after the dropping date, there is no way that you can drop. The system will not allow you to drop. That means you're fixed to take RP1. Some students even go ridiculous up to a point of 10 weeks if they say they want to drop. And you come and beg me also no use, because basically the system doesn't allow you to drop. So it's fixed there RP1. So it's either you do something or you fail it. If you fail it, your CGPA will be affected. It's as simple as that, okay? So I'm really seriously, informing these people who hasn't even started on the literature review or haven't even got a topic yet at this point in time. You better go back now today and open up the system and drop it right here and there. Okay, unless you're so super confident that you can do your literature review within 6 weeks. Okay, 6 to 7 weeks. Otherwise, I mean, unless you are so super confident and you are so good, you think you are so good that you can do a literature review that your supervisor is going to be happy about in about 6 to 7 weeks, then okay, you can try. But the warning is, if you can't do it, you can't drop at 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. I think the maximum, in fact, now if we drop it, if I'm not wrong, you will be penalized 200 ringgit already. The last dropping date was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, and if you don't drop it by 18, if I'm not wrong, 18, or is it like last Friday, then you cannot drop at all already. I mean, like now you still can drop, but I think in another week or so, you can't even drop anymore. If we drop, not even if you pay the fine, also you cannot drop. And those people who are actually still kalang kabut with your RP2, like you are still mimpi, you know, you haven't confirmed on your methodology by now. I mean, honestly, it's chapter 3 and 4. RP2 people, I know there's about 5 of you taking RP2. If you're still in a stage that I don't know how to approach this research and you haven't started your data collection or do your programming or whatever, by now, you really should also consider dropping RP2. Okay, otherwise, you will have problems because data collection is even worse than literature review. If you don't have time for data collection, you really don't have data. Then what are you going to present later? So this is a consideration that you have to make. I mean, I'm very serious about this, okay? I mean, like, this is a part that supervisor cannot help you at. I mean, like, we cannot help you. You know, we cannot help you at all if you don't help yourself, okay? I've got a case now, RP3. I mean, the supervisor has been telling him, you know, you do this, chapter 1, you must amend this, up until now, the amendments is not done, and he is failing, and he is not graduating. I mean, like, after passing all his subjects, he is not passing his RP3, you know? I mean, I don't know why there are people with that kind of mentality, you know? It's just something that particular supervisor has been so helpful, already tell you that chapter 1, you need to amend this, exactly this, add in a few more literature and all that. Just do it, you know? I'm like, if people already give you instructions and you don't even want to do it, that means you don't want to help yourself, okay? So, I mean, please be serious about your RP, you know? You don't want to pass everything and then end up this RP and you're not getting your master's sort of things, you know? So please, and you know what, I understand that every one of you, I know who are your supervisors and all that. They are all very responsible people, and some of you have very good supervisors as well, you know? So please, make use of your supervisor. They're more than willing to help you, you know, as long as you follow. If you really can't think for yourself, at least you know how to follow instructions, okay? Yeah. So yeah, and those of you who are not registering for RP2 does not mean that you should be sitting here, you know, being so busy with everything and anything under the sun but RP2, you know, that you are wrong because you are taking a break from RP so that you can finish up your RP1 leftover and then finish up at least your research methodology chapter 3. I mean, all the target for people who are not taking RP2, like you didn't register for RP2, you are doing it at a slower pace. It's fine, but does not mean that you don't do anything. Okay, I mean, I'm kind of irritated to hear a lot of these things. Like people are like, oh, you're not taking it, so you're just putting everything on the back seat. You know, you really have to. The target is you have to finish your chapter 3, 1 to 3 to finish this sem. And then when next sem comes, or even before next sem starts, you can do your data collection, do your comparison, do your, you know, analysis already. So when you really take time to do your RP2, it's going to be a lot more smoother for you to get a better grade so that your CGPA can be even better. That is the suggestion, not to say that because you're taking a break from RP2, you don't touch RP2 at all. You know, your supervisor look for you, you go so busy, you know, I can't do it, and then third week already, you haven't met your supervisor yet, you know, sort of thing. So you have to continue doing it, repair the things that they're not happy with in RP1, because at the end of the day, RP2 is the marks that you're going to gather from RP. I mean, the marks that your report will be read 1 to 4, that sort of thing, you know. So you are handing in chapter 1 to 4. You're not handing in chapter 3, 4, you know, you're handing in 1 to 4 and be graded 1 to 4 kind of thing. So we do want to have a better improvement from RP1, see. So that is my advice for those of you who are doing RPs, you know. So yeah, and the rest, I think everyone is handling it really well. I mean, like the classes you're attending, you know, assignments you're doing, you know, I mean, those are no problem. It's only RP, you know, it's only RP that some people are having some issues with, or, you know, you're just too relaxed guy, you know, or you just think so lowly of this thing called RP that you're not taking an effort for it, you know. And then especially those people who are RP1. I mean, if I hear any one of you who are actually, don't come and tell me that you haven't settled a topic, you know. If you haven't settled a topic, I tell you this already, by week 1, you should have a topic already, okay? So if you don't have a topic by now, too bad, you know. Honestly, go and drop it. Otherwise, you're going to be crying at the end. You'll be passing all the subject. You don't come and tell me that all these are recorded. You don't come and tell me that, oh, no, doctor, I don't know. I didn't know, you know, I didn't know. You know, no, you know. Okay, I already tell you in week 3, if you know topic yet, drop it. You know, if you're still so confident that you can do it, fine, it's your choice. Go ahead, do it, you know. But you need to spend 4 to 5 hours every day on your RP just to make it up for the time that, you know, you are already losing. But if up until now you don't even know your topic, then forget it, okay? Forget it, okay? So I assume that a lot of you all have already started, and RP2 people, I tell you, one more time, okay? Don't take it too lightly, you should be, by week 3 now, you should be starting your data collection already, if your research methodology is still kalang kabut, you know you are in for big trouble, All right. Okay, so this is my advice for RP, 1 and 2. Right. Let's go to your assignment now. Your Richard is asking, my group has a project as a reference for the assignment. You can use the same project. Okay, you can use the same project for your group assignment. You can use the same project for your individual assignment. Even though your group member are using the same project for the individual assignment, if you're going to do it, your work breakdown structure may look the same, but the way that you draft the time and the calculation of the duration, I hope definitely you need to get that information separately. You cannot just like do it as a group and then hand in 3 separate assignments. Okay, that is individual assignment. You'll be marked individually. So if we see that anything besides the work breakdown structure looks exactly the same thing, we are so sorry. We are going to divide your marks by 2 or 3 depending on who you shared with. Okay, I mean, like I have never been known to be a very light marker. Okay, so I mean, those of you who has been in my classes, you know what you get for your project management last time. Okay, so you better be careful. So you can use the same project, individual assignment. Your group can choose the same project. Like let's say now, you know, Richard, your group, and Johnson and McCurry are in the same group. You can use the same, like you're doing individual assignment now. Okay, you are doing individual assignment now. Okay, so but you can actually use the same project. It's fine. In fact, if you're really ethical about it, you can use the same project, but every one of you will do your own work breakdown structure. You see, so then it will look different based on your experience, based on how you break it down. It will look different. But then, of course, if you have the same work breakdown structure for your individual assignment, it is possible. We are not going to penalize you for that. But if the same WBS with the same duration, with the same time frame, with the same calculation, with the same production rate, that one is not acceptable. All right? You've got to do your own. Like you can work the WBS now together, and after that, every one of you take that and go back and do your own individual assignment, and then come back later on again. The same WBS, you use it for your group assignment. So today I'm looking at WBS from the 5 groups. Okay, I'm getting you to do that first is because at least we can pinpoint what is the right one, what is the wrong one, what is too much, what is too little. At least every one of you have an idea. Okay. So can we have somebody who wants to actually go first to It is done already. I unshare my screen now. I remember the other day, the first group was, who wants to go first? Anyone of you want to show me your assignment? Ashiking, that day you're with Ngo and Ashiking, Ngo and who? I know Ashraf and
And
Irfan
Shirley, Doctor.
and Shelley. Do you have anything to show me? Have you selected your project yet?
Yes, but we all three of us can select different project.
Or all of you select different projects, huh? For
Yeah.
this is for your individual assignment, huh? Then later on, out of the three, you will pick one and do your group assignment,
Yes.
Okay, can. So do you want to roughly tell me what is the three different assignments that you are, I mean, what are the three different projects that you guys are going to be using?
Wait, Doctor, I'm sharing my screen.
Can.
For my project, I will do the multi-purpose hall, the open multi-purpose hall.
For at where?
And this project I got from my internship at Malacca.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Are you sharing screen? Yeah. How about Shelley and you're doing with Shelley and Ngo,
okay,
right?
this yes.
Yes,
Ngo
okay.
will be the apartment.
Ngo, we're doing apartment, huh? Okay. Right. So you are my ex student, so I can see that you kind of know what you're doing. Okay, so about 12 individual activity. Can you scroll up?
This is mine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, your level one cannot be just the title of the project. Huh? Your level one should be your level two. You shift it over.
This one I follow what Dr. Lee taught during the MS project
Mm,
session.
mm, mm, mm. It's okay, but then yeah, but then that means you will have a level four. Okay, so that means you start off. I mean, I would suggest that you put the construction of open hole that thing up on the top. Meaning that it will be just a title. Okay, so it
Okay.
doesn't sort of play. It doesn't make your work break down into four layers.
Okay, Doctor.
So your level two will become level one, and your level three will become level two, and then you see if you can I think you definitely can break some more down, especially in terms of structural work. I think the structural work you can go by ground, first floor, and like first floor, second floor, that kind of thing by floors. So I think you need more detail, Ashiking.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah, because otherwise, your resources calculation is going to be very congested. You see, like I mean, like if you structure work, then you don't know which one. Is it first floor, second floor? And then you need to congest all your resources into one or two column, that kind of thing, and it will make it very difficult for your calculation. If you can open it up a little bit, like let's say structural work in terms of what structural work for what ground beam or ground structural work for ground floor, which is comprising of construction of beam. Try to use the proper wording. I don't like it. You just put like beam, slab, column, roofing. I mean, this is the first draft. It's fine. It's just to see it, but you need to have more. The description needs to be a bit more.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Doctor.
Brickwork is like masonry. I think plastering can be another. I mean, like if you say brick wall, like construction of brick wall, then you can have a third layer which talk about brick wall masonry work, and then plastering work. You see, so then when you split up like that, at least you know that you're employing two plasterers and two bricklayer or what equipment and all that. So it's very clear that this is for bricklaying, you see. Otherwise, if you lump it together, we don't know whether you're talking about the plaster or you're talking about the bricklayers, you see.
Okay.
So if you can break it off a little bit, then it will be a bit more, it will be a bit easier for you to input your resources later on. And that resources is very clearly for that activity, and that activity will be based on the production rate, and then from that production rate, clearly that brick wall work will be how long, and then plastering work is how long, for example, and whether they're going to be overlapping or whether they're going to be like interdependent or half interdependent, or about few days after the few days later you can start plastering already. Like you have to do the sequencing later, but that is later lah. But main thing is try to get because you see the resources will determine the time later. How much resources you have, how much numbers of resources you have will determine the time that you'll be using later on. So it's better if you can break your work down properly, okay? Especially structure work. That is one of the main work, foundation work. Even foundation work, I would prefer that you do like even layer 1, you can have piling work, and then like substructure piling work, for example, and then 1, 2, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is another like foundation work, or the this foundation work. Foundation work means that you do your pile cap, your footings and all that. Yeah. You understand what I'm trying to say, Shiking?
Yes, Doctor.
I think details will be better in that sense. It's also good for your calculation of costing later on as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I think that if more you're doing an apartment, I think it will be about similar as this. So I think the kind of work that I will see here will be similar. You also take note of what I'm saying. How about Shelley? What work are you using? Are you also using structure kind of work? Shelley left the meeting. Line got kicked out, is it?
I have Shirley's.
I think she probably got some line problem. It's okay. We wait for her to come back later. Oh, no, you have any questions? No?
Afternoon, Doctor. Can I share mine? Maybe have some comments on it.
You want me to see how can you just share your screen?
Okay. Doctor, this is a project of one block of 6-story Soho projects. It's combined the commercial space with the residentials. Actually, this is one of my project during with a developer in Bintulu.
Okay. But
Okay.
don't make it too big. I mean, like, if you do the Soho block, just a Soho block, you don't have to do the residential, because otherwise there'll be too many things for you to look at,
Okay. These are the scope.
Screen,
No, we cannot see your side share, no. Share
Cannot,
file. It's sharing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, starting to
Okay.
see.
Okay. This is my project in Bintulu, Soho project. This is a scope of work. These are the scope of work. Okay, this is actually I don't know whether maybe mine.
So you are doing it for the 6-story executive 1 block only, huh?
Yes.
Okay. The part on initiation 1.1 to 1.8, that one, is under one pre-contract, post-contract. I think the pre-contract you don't really have to include in this particular assignment,
Okay.
So you start from the post-contract, which is the starting of your construction work. So these are the I mean, like, we call it general and preliminaries, so we don't really need so much details also. It's okay to have it, but it's not so critical. Okay, so post-contract, pre-contract, that is not one layer. So your layer one will start from preliminaries and general, okay?
Okay.
Oh, what about go down? I want to see your physical work, yeah. Too much of preliminaries and general. No.
Oh, okay. I'll meet
No,
it
no, no, no,
later.
no, no. Yeah, you have to shorten it. We are looking at the full. I want to see the full physical work. That is the starting. I mean, like, I think preliminary in general, the maximum is 2 activities that you need to put here. Maximum.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to reduce your 2.4 and above into 2 activities. Okay.
Okay.
Right, and then you start off with your piling work. All this like selecting, no. Procurement things, not so much of an issue here. Okay, I mean, like, we're not putting in too much of like signing of agreement and whatever, unless it's very important, like submission of piling permit, order to pile, yes, you can, because that is some of the more critical physical things. Yeah. Like I said, concentrate your work onto the physical things. Okay. So you have piling work as your maybe 2, let's say 3, and 4 is a substructure. That's good. 4 is a substructure. And it looks okay to me, your 4. So this one is already, you're going into like 4. The substructure, you just put like here 2. Let's say if you put this as we reduce 2 up there. So this is will be about 4. Okay. So activity 4 will be substructure dash RC footing / concrete work, for example. So don't make substructure a separate a separate layer. Okay. So you have your 4.1. 4.1 is excavation already, yeah. 4.1.1 is setting out. Yeah. So up to somewhere here. Okay. So this will be like your it's too late. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. We don't recommend that. So you cannot go 2.6.1.1.2.1. That is too much, right? So you have to only reduce it to about maximum of 3 to 4 is the most maximum already. So you get what I mean? So 2.6, take it off. So then it means that your first layer will start from substructure dash RC footing. That is your layer 1. Layer 2 will be your excavation. Layer 3 will be your setting out. And if you really need to cut away and backfill, that one is layer 4.
Okay.
Okay, huh? Can you go down some? Yeah, like superstructure. So superstructure is not one layer. So superstructure will be construction of, or you can put superstructure dash construction of ground floor beam, for example. If you put beam, first floor, second floor, third floor, fifth floor, sixth floor, your activity sequencing later will look very weird. You may have your first floor, first 3 months, and then beam, second floor, you have a big gap, 3 months gap or 2 months gap, and then, you draw your line again, so your schedule later on will look very weird. So you don't do it like this, beam, column, slab. You have to do like first floor beam, first floor column, first everything by floor, not by the structure itself.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for architectural work also, we do not recommend, like all these W1, 2, 3, 4, I don't think you need to go to that kind of detail lah. Basically, architectural work is not so much of our components, you see. So I think if you go up to like window glazing, you know, and up to your either anodized aluminum frame, tempered glass as a second or third layer, I think it'll be more than good enough already. Okay.
Okay.
All your brick wall, curtain, brick wall, and all that, is that part of your architecture, or you can maybe put under masonry? So you'll be under the superstructure lah. I mean, better than put it under architecture. You have a lot of activities, but I think you need to really readjust them a little bit, okay? Maybe if you
Okay.
want, you can email me like sometime next week. I can comment for you again. I mean, after today's comment.
Sure.
Yeah, like roofing, for example, you have your, you know, like it should be under the structure work. Like after you put your 6th floor, you know, and then your roof beam, roof beam and all that, you know, your roof beam and all that, then your roof trusses will go in already. So yeah, I mean, like just continue with your roof. Don't stop like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Always think about this way. You finish talking about all your structural, civil related work first, and then after that, you move in and talk about your architectural, your M&E, and then finally your landscaping. You know, all these things can be the end. Okay. So we prefer, like in this case, you need to rearrange some part here. I mean, like you go from structure, then you go into architecture, and then you back to roof again, you know, and then go into then you jump out to M&E again. So it becomes it's going to be very difficult for you to do your activity sequencing later, no? You have to imagine you're already trying to sequence your site activities already when you're doing this work breakdown structure.
Okay.
So you put those that is related to one another, closer to one another, so that you don't have a funny gap, you know, in your schedule later on, and jumping from one activity all the way, like from page 1, and suddenly your next activity, actually the interdependent one was actually right at the bottom somewhere, you see. That it will look really horrible in that sense, huh? You understand, huh?
Yeah, I understand. I try.
Okay.
Man. Okay.
Can you can just still got time, definitely still got time. We do this sort of activities just to make sure that everybody got a gist of what is the, you know, the best thing to do in that sense. You know, we all learn from each other's problem and mistakes and yeah, and all that. I think it's important to do that. You see, not everyone can, you know, get the easiest the best looking WBS yet, you see. So again, because I don't teach you for the next 3 weeks after this, so anytime you can just email me and I can do a comment based on the email as well. Yeah. Okay, Shirley, you are doing structural work as well?
I'm actually come up with, can you hear me? Hello?
Can I can hear you.
Maybe I'll show my work first.
Can. Next one up is Richard and your group lah, huh?
Can you see my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, actually the project I selected is for the double-story terrace houses lah. And then this is the breakdown I got. Yeah, and I'm not sure because some of the breakdown is not up to 3 layers. So I'm not sure is that fine.
It's okay. But your general and preliminaries, I think you can add other activities as well, such as survey, or you have site surveying, but I think you can actually add a bit more in your general and preliminaries. There's many other things in general and preliminary that you can list down. So you can have your 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, you can add a few more. More is a bit too
Okay.
much. You have a bit too little.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
site clearance and earthwork, I think site clearance and earthwork, you can actually split that up into two different criteria.
Okay.
So 2 can be site clearance and 3 can be earthwork. Earthwork is site clearance is more like clearing out all the debris, trees or whatever. That is
Yes.
site clearance. And then after that, do a bit of boundary surveys and site clearance, And then after that, you need to do the site access. That is probably under the site clearance. And then earthwork is the part that you either take the soil away, you dig off more soil, or you put in more soil to do settlement and all that. So this bit here, this two needs to be different. So
Okay.
two can be site clearance, earthwork, and then earthwork can be 3, see? And then piling work also, your bakar piling work, you can break it down. RC piling work, definitely you can break it down some more, okay?
Okay.
Your building work, you can go work below first floor, okay? But work below first floor, can we put that as a foundation work?
Actually can.
So you, instead of one building work to finish talking about everything, like building work, if you put building work like that, that means your work breakdown has very little first layer.
Oh, okay. What I did is I break down with the building works, and then my first layer will have the electricals and the external work and civil work lah. This is how I break it lah. So I break it, then I will have like about 12
Okay.
first layer, but like some of the
Fourth floor, huh?
yeah.
Okay. But I honestly think that the building work part, you can actually maybe go for another 3 items or so, so you can have your, like if me, what I will do is the door and all that, I will put it under architectural later. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So what you need to do with your, can you go up a little bit? Yeah. Okay, here. So instead of putting the word building work as number 4, okay, so you go for number that one will be number 5 already lah, huh? So you be 2 site clearance, 3 earthwork, 4 4 piling work, and then maybe you get 5 foundation work. So it deals or you all the things below the ground floor lah, huh? Not first floor, huh?
Okay.
Then you can have building work first floor, building work second floor. Okay. And then roofing. Okay. Or you can have building work, roof level. Roof level means that is the structure of the roofing. Okay.
Yeah.
Like all your roof beam and all that. And then the roofing can be one more, you see?
Yeah.
Or the roofing with the trusses and all the gutters and whatever it is, that it can be one work. The wall, the finishes, and ceiling work, window work, these are all under architectural work.
Okay.
Staircase is definitely structural work. So staircase needs to go back to the building work, structural work layer. Window, glass, and all these finishing, wall finishing, ceiling finish, painting work, all these are architecture and ID. So you can have one category of architectural work.
Okay.
And then you can, instead of civil works within the boundary, this one you should be putting it, you should make use of breaking it down to like one layer can be surface water and drainage, one layer can be reinforced concrete footpath and crossover, one layer can be sewage work, one layer can be road work. So if you put it all under civil works, one layer, you're wasting your layer already.
Oh. Okay. But if let's say I put in this as the first layer, right? Then does that mean that I need to further break down another layer because it will become 2 layer?
Fine. Maximum. The maximum 3 layers, 4 layers.
Okay, okay. I got it.
Minimum you have about 2, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Still need a bit of improvement. I will also suggest you email me after you make the changes lah. Huh?
Okay. So basically that's what I've done so far.
So you understand what I'm trying to say, huh? So building
Yeah.
works, you have to make it a bit more layers there, and some of it like all the finishing one. I would suggest you put it under one layer for architectural work, and then the other parts, the civil work is the one that you should have more layers as well. So no matter what, you definitely be over 12 layers. It's just the detail that is
Okay.
focusing on the wrong thing. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Johnson and Richard and all that. You have one assignment or you have 3 assignment also. Highway project. Okay. So again, level 1, take it away. That is your title. So you start off with your site preparation. That as layer 1. Huh?
Yeah.
You only have 6. How to do?
So you meant to say our main activities is not enough?
Definitely.
Okay.
It needs to be double that. Okay.
We will look into it, doctor. Actually, it's 12 activities, right?
Huh?
12 activity, right? So we're going to add another 6 more. The activities
Correct.
later on. Yeah, at least we
Correct.
have something to show to them. Yeah.
Correct. I think road work, you cannot just put one road work like that, no? That is like wasting the layering as well.
I didn't get what you mean by the work not enough.
Because if you put one road work and then everything under that one road work, that means your layering will never be enough, you know. So you may want to do like go by the different layers as some of the major activities. And you may want to do things like
Background noise?
Shirley, somebody can off your mic. Okay. Right. So what I mean by roadwork is you're wasting your layer, you're dumping everything into roadwork as one layer, then you have no room to break down anymore, you see? So I would say that even like earthwork is definitely going to be one layer. Somewhere earthwork, like are you going to take some soil away, do site clearance, can be one layer. Surveying, I don't see any surveying as well, you know? So I think you still have a lot of room to improve in level 1. Like site preparation like that, I think it's just too general. You can go by general and preliminaries as one layer, and then followed by site clearance as one layer. Okay, and site clearance, under site clearance you have clearing, grubbing, you know, and all that. And then construction of access road can be one layer also, you see. Mobilization of manpower, material, all that is under general and preliminaries. Site investigation should be under general and preliminaries as well, you see. So you can have another, you know, you already have extra layers already. Construction of access road, what do you do when you construct access road? And then you also do like site clearance, you know, site preparation or site clearance is about the same thing. And then removal of the grubs and all that, you know, like debris and all that. And then you construct your access road. And then what about your surveying? Road work is a very important thing to do. Surveying, oh, no joke one, no, you don't want your road to become something, become an ula somewhere, you know. So surcharging, like if you're going to do a surcharging, could that be actually one specific treatment?
It's a combination of surcharge and vertical drain.
Okay, so meaning that you want to put everything under subgrade treatment now.
Yes, that's what me and Johnson talked about.
Okay. And then your road work, yeah, I mean, definitely you have to split up into a few things under road work. Otherwise, you will not have enough. Water reticulation can be one layer itself. Electrical utilities can be one layer by itself. Drainage is definitely one layer by itself. And then M&E work such as lighting and all that can be under one work. And landscaping can be under one work as well. Yeah. And testing and commissioning can be under one layer as well. So easily, I think you can still break it down into 6 more layers from here and give it a bit more detail in second and third layer.
Okay.
The way you describe is also very, very brief. Not up to be able to do a good job later on in terms of resources.
Yeah, perhaps some of the things in level
Signage
3.
and all that, signage and traffic can be one layer, Marking, signage, all these things can be one layer because it is towards the end already. And what about, do you do any subsoil piping, and all that? I think that one is also under you can have different layers under, yeah.
Maybe the water and utilities can break down into 2.
Definitely. Yeah, I also tell them the same thing. Like if your work do need a bit of piling, sometimes some road work may need some piling work as well. So that one can be one extra activities as well if you have it. Electrical can be things like light poles, street lightings, all these are under electrical utilities. Not only that, because you may also have some current. You may need to lay some electrical power line as well, like cables and all that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, power supply and street lighting.
Yes. Power supply is under electricity utilities. So water, drainage, electrical utilities, I would say is next layer. And then lighting and turfing can be separated. So lighting can be electrical lighting, like street lights and all that should be under electrical utilities. Whereas the turfing and those are actually more on the landscaping. So you can have a landscaping and then do the landscaping activities as well. Testing and commissioning is definitely one activity by itself. So you have to make it into 6 layers, Richard.
All right. We'll review back again.
Yeah, you have to review everything again, okay? And I think there is a lot more things to do in road work. Then you're just the one road work, and then you have 7, 8 activities under road work. There's so much more things that you need to look into with the more detail. So I think especially under the road work, you may even go up to 3 layers. I mean, I want to see some 3 layers. Not everything has to be 3 layers, but definitely there'll be something that is more than 3 layers. Like water, for example. If you're going to do like piping, the water reticulation, underwater reticulation, there's pipelines and manholes, so that is already like 1 layer. And then that is like layer 2, a few things under there already. And then you can break it down. Pipeline can be excavation, can be laying, can be backfilling, So you can have layer 3 as well. Same goes with drainage, you can have 3 layers. Same goes with road work, you can have 3 layers as well. Yeah. Maybe things like site survey, clearance, site construction of access road, turfing, landscape, electrical work. That one you may have 2 layers and that should be enough, you know. But some of the more major work you should have 3 layers. Otherwise, it does not amount. I mean, it will not make your it will not make your project concise. You're not going to get marks with this, put it this way, huh?
Yeah,
Okay,
understood.
doctor. Yeah, noted.
So yeah, I think we need to review back your work again. So are you going to be using the same assignment for 3 of it, or currently you're going to use something else?
Actually, doctor, my understanding here is good. Richard and Johnson already has this one. So actually, since this is the first time our briefing, so can I share mine so that we can at least maybe we can use both sides or either one, so we can my group will discuss further. So can I share my screen first?
Can. You can share your screen first, yes. What I mean is that you
Okay.
can do this completely as an individual assignment, but
What
you
is
can
it?
share your work breakdown structure, okay? I mean, yeah.
Can you see mine?
Okay. What are
So
you doing?
actually
A
this project
reservoir.
yeah, the 2 times 7.5 million liter reinforced concrete. So I have stages here, layer 1, 2, 3. So in my
Yes.
layer number 1, there's activity, the surveying. So I need to do some preparations to foundation, the constructions of the ground slab and wall, subsoil piping works lah, and then the formwork, rebar and water soak, concreting and constructions of columns, constructions of RC roof, slab fitting, cleaning of water tank, and the last part will be the monitoring, the newly built reservoir lah.
Okay.
So under my layer 2 is related to from the layer 1 except to layer number 2 is producing topography map, and then the preparations of foundation, developing and river stream lah, and remove unsuitable material, share rock or existing substance, pilings rock, pile caps lah, and then under this construction ground slab, pile cap pass engineering QAQC lah, and so
Okay,
on.
Larry, stop. Okay,
Okay.
let me comment. You have enough of layers, you have a lot of details, but it's very messy. Okay?
Okay.
So
Okay.
from surveying work to the preparation foundation work is just preparation foundation.
Okay.
Then you should have a layer on foundation work, which incorporates your piling, pile cap, your pile cap passing QA, QC, all these things should be under foundation work. Okay? So you don't lump your piling, pile cap, everything under the work preparation of foundation work. Okay? So here you need to split into your layer 1 here, you have preparation of foundation work, and then the actual foundation work or substructure work. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Even if you want to break it down here, like preparation is one thing. Okay. Then after that, you can have when you say you're diverting of rivers and stream, how is that related to excavation and backfill?
Yes. Because for the
Whatever
temporary, yeah.
like you see, whatever that you put next to it is related to the work that you have in layer 2, you see. So when you put excavation and backfill next to diverting river and stream, meaning that this excavation and backfill is one of the diversion work. You know, it's one of the detailed diversion work.
Okay.
Okay. So if it's not, then don't put it there. And then you have backfill, and suddenly you've got channel, temporary river, and all that. So is it necessary to have this? You know, I thought diverting already means that you are channeling the temporary river and whatever you have at the back there. I mean, like, you have to know that your layer 1 is just the description. Layer 2 is an in-depth description of your layer 1. Your layer 3 is a more in-depth discussion of your layer 2. And your layer
Okay.
4, if necessary, if it's not necessary, we stop at layer 3 already.
Okay.
Construct floodgate. These are like big activities. How come it's actually layer 4, you see? And how does that relate to excavation and backfill? It is not related to excavation and backfill, you see?
Okay, doctor. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can see right away that you have a bit of a wrong approach already, Macquarie.
Okay. Yeah, noted, doctor. I'm just
Yeah.
putting some idea. Yeah. Since
Yeah.
I'm not around last week. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So it means that if
Noted.
I were to say preparation of foundation, one of the activity is diverting the river and stream, okay? And how to
Okay.
divert river and stream? To construct a temporary channel, okay? And then
Yeah.
maybe also to put in a water stop. So then you can have, next to your diverting river and stream, you have another 2 or 3 more activities of what you're describing here as channel, temporary river, and water stop, construction or whatever, construction or water stop or whatever. This all.
Okay.
Then part of the activity is also excavating and backfilling, in fact, channel a temporary river flow, channeling the temporary river flow can be like the more detailed work is the excavation. Like you want to channel the river to another section, then you need to do a bit of excavation and backfilling to do the channeling, correct or not? So that means excavation and backfilling is the detail of your channeling, not the channeling is the detail of your excavation and backfill.
Okay.
You faham what I'm trying to say,
Yes, doctor. Yeah.
So then again, like piling work itself can be number 3, piling work. You see, under layer 1, foundation work or piling work. Piling work, what do you do? Straight away you do pile tests. I mean, come on, is this the word pile test correct or not? Is it what you call the static log test, or are you doing log tests? To check the log that you need to require to check the soil condition. Then piling work is supposed to be piles, right? And then piling the actual driving of the pile, you see?
Yeah.
So how come your piling work only have 1 pile test, you see? It's not like that, correct or not?
Yes.
So under piling work in your layer 3, you should properly describe what is your piling work. Maybe supply of pile, driving of the piles, and hacking of the piles. That is piling work. And then construction of the foundation is number 1, construction of pile cap. And then what is under pile cap construction? Under pile cap construction is, you see, you are wasting your layer. You put pile cap construction, then pile cap construction is formwork fabrication, rebar, and also concreting. So this one here, your layer 4 should be in your layer 3 under pile cap construction.
Okay.
Then you can break it down some more, and that is, can see that there's a bit of confusion here. And then you see, you put your construction of ground slab and wall in one category, and I would be very worried about it. I mean, like I would say it's a total waste, you see. So here you've already got 2, 3, 4. This is construction of ground slabs, maybe. Okay, so construction of ground slabs or subsoil piping work, is this related to the reservoir? You're doing the subsoil piling work first, right? Before you do the construction of the ground slab, correct or not?
Yes.
You make sure that underneath there you're doing some water, what you call that thing?
Dewatering.
Dewater. I mean, this is for dewatering purposes. This should be before construction of ground slab.
Yeah.
After you do ground slab, you can do subsoil piping work.
Yeah.
So is it subsoil piping work? Your subsoil piping work is around the reservoir or under the reservoir?
Under the reservoir.
Then your subsoil piping work should be under. So meaning that your subsoil piping work should come first.
Oh, okay.
And then you also have the other thing called you need to put besides subsoil piping work, there's another thing that you need to put in. You need to put some water, what you call water. Now suddenly my vocabulary drops.
Preferred. Yeah.
What is that?
Preferred pipe.
You
Is it
put
preferred?
you put a sheet there, you put some sort of like a layering under there so that the water don't get penetrated, like water, what do you call it's dealing
What?
with water stock and all that, isn't it? I mean like
The water stop is the expansion joint, ba? If there is a gap for the concreting one.
yeah, so that one is part of the construction of the ground slabs, correct or not?
Yeah. Yeah, yes. Ground slab.
Yeah.
For the-
So I think your arrangement here are a little bit off, and then especially formwork, rebars, concreting, all this should usually belong to layer 2 or 3.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I will look into it. Okay.
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 So there's another word that it's called something to do with treatment one. You when we normally do reservoir, we put the subsoil piping, and after that we put a layer of water stop. Is that water stop or water stop is the also
Water-
you put it
Is it the last one? The water tightening? Tightening? The last part, ba? Normally we do the water tightening.
it's not water tightening, it's something else. It's actually to prevent the water from going up or down, kind of thing. It's called it's just
Actually, we are using water stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me find the word. It just doesn't
Okay.
go through my mind. Suddenly just lost it,
Okay, doctor. Yeah.
So yeah, it's okay even if you don't have it, but normally we will put a water like a cover kind of thing, on top just to make sure that the water doesn't sink down. You don't lose water from your concrete all the way down to the ground, because when you
Is it
put RC,
The waterproof membrane?
waterproof, oh boy.
Membrane. Yeah, membrane.
Yeah, membrane work, correct. It's called waterproofing work. Ayo.
Yeah.
Say
To,
water. Yes, it's some waterproofing work. Yes.
to
So
prevent the water seeping.
yeah, it's preventing the seepage, huh? So
Mm,
so
yeah.
you will put that down as some of the first layers as well.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so your things like your formwork, rebars, concreting, that three needs to be taken out. Normally those are under the construction of the ground slabs. Then you put in you put in like maybe water stop and then waterproof. Waterproofing can be one by itself, and then water stop can be one by itself. But under the construction of the slabs, it's going to be after all the subsoil piping, all the waterproofing, all the water stop, and then you put everything down first before you lay. You do your formwork and rebars and all that. That one is under every one of the construction of the slab, wall, column, RC roof. That one is under that. You see.
Yeah.
So you need to rearrange that, and you've got too many like very management things like QF, QC, process management processes. Now we're not going to put that down in your work breakdown structure. These are more on the physical work that needs to be done in order for the work to be completed. Okay.
Okay, doctor. Yeah.
Okay.
Noted.
So yeah,
I will adjust it.
you need to clean this up, huh? I mean, you have a lot of details, but these are messy. Okay.
Yeah.
With Richard one just now is not enough detail. Okay, so therefore you need to add detail.
Okay.
All
Sure.
right.
We will discuss with my team lah, Richard and Johnson, how we are incorporated into another the project road or this one. So we try to discuss.
It's
Okay,
okay.
doctor?
I mean, like even now, if you do this by yourself and both of the boys do their own road work, it's also fine. It's just that when you do your group assignment later, you need to choose between which one you are going to be using.
Yeah. So actually, it's more to sharing ideas, ba. Yeah, it needs to be. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
Okay,
so
doctor. Got it.
most of you will need to show this. I mean, maybe email to me before week 6 lah. I mean, week 5, before end of week 5 class. I will hope to receive some of emails from you all to check whether you're okay. You know, now it's week 3 lah, before the starting of the class of week 5, because week 5 Dr. Lee will come in and talk to you about resources planning already. So by then, after the class, you need to already get this all settled down before week 5 class starts. You see?
Okay.
So yeah, next group, fun. You know, you all, I think they raised their hands already. They want to show us their work.
Yeah, doctor.
I stop
Yeah,
sharing now.
when I'm commenting on other people's work, feel free to listen as well, because you may have the same problem. You see? Yeah.
Okay, okay, doctor.
So Irfan and who Ashraf, right? And you are with who again?
Ashraf and Zul.
Zulkarnain.
Oh yeah, yeah. So are you share the same one for your individual, or
Yeah.
do you have?
This
Oh,
one is
okay.
group 1.
Hmm.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing a ICU building for hospital in Limbang, which this is our work breakdown structure lah.
Can you go down? Go down some more. Oh, waterproofing again. I don't much comment on the back bit, but it's the same thing. Your building work and structural work is the one that is the same problem as the rest of the group. Okay. Number one, not the writing is not comprehensive enough. So if we talk about structural work, you should have one foundation work. So instead
This
of
one is
putting the work
we're using pad footing only, doctor.
pad footing already, it's okay. You just put it as one layer 1 instead of layer 2.
Okay.
So your structural work, the first take out the word structural work and you replace it with foundation first.
Oh, this one lah.
The structural work, don't use the word structural work first. Just use the word foundation first. Then whatever pad footing you're doing concreting pad footing also you need to do the footing pad footing, construction of pad footing.
Pad
Write it
footing.
properly. Don't just use the word footing, you know.
Okay.
And then after that, what else? Concreting whatever, you know. And then when it comes to ground beam, then you can put down
So it's ground beam is gonna layer 1, right?
I prefer it that way, you know, like construction of ground beam, for example.
So it's gonna be still in layer 2, level 2 or?
Under layer 1.
Layer 1. Okay. Here lah, huh?
Do you have multiple layers? I mean, like, is it one story or more than one story?
It's single story only.
Single story only, but single story also you've got the ground and you also have the roofing so
Yeah.
so you can have the second layer and structure works for ground floor work.
Oh, structure work for ground floor.
So
this one structure work for ground floor, we put it under foundation, ground beam, and membrane layer lah.
Membrane layer is
No, what roofing. Then
waterproofing is underneath, so it's actually after the putting, you're doing the foundation, you're doing the waterproofing done. Then you should put waterproofing under foundation work,
Okay.
No, I mean as in layer 2 tapi you know you go for more detail that way you see. And then your ground floor work is ground beam, column, slab, you know, all these things are actually under ground floor, you see.
This one is including, right?
No. I tell you already, delete that word structure work.
Yeah. Delete this one.
You're going to confuse yourself, yes.
Okay.
And then, okay, so your layer 1 is going to be, you go up again, site work, site work, off-site work 1, site work 2, foundation work 3, ground floor work 4, you know.
All right.
So
3 then.
underground floor work in the layer 2, then you're describing ground floor work. You see, ground floor work is ground beam, column, slab,
Okay.
wall. You know,
Beam,
these are under second layer already.
column. So this one is second layer already. Here lah.
Yeah, later on you put there lah, huh?
Yeah.
And then third layer is the, you know, preparation, installation of formwork, concrete, reinforced concrete, castings, you know. So then you go, then after that, you want to put in wall also can, or you can go for roof. So you can, number 5, roof work, you know, or roofing work. Roofing work is basically ground, you know, all the roof beams and all that lah. So that would be a second layer lah, huh?
All right.
And then you may have building works maybe under architectural work. Instead of you using the word building work, you use architectural works. So architectural works, you have got roofing work is the beam and all that, and putting in the trusses, purlins and all that, and then all your gutters, you know, all these things are under roofing work, you see. So architecture is 6 lor. 6 is wall, ceiling, door, floor, you know. Roofing work is not architectural. Why do people put roofing work as under architecture?
So this one,
It's our civil engineers' work, you know, it's not architects' work.
this one remove later lah.
Yeah, remove later. Painting and all that, huh? A cover walkway should be one by itself. Cover walkway is already external, but
This one external, huh?
External works, you can put cover walkway, you can put landscaping, or external works are also things like drainage and all that. Do you have that?
Drainage. Got surrounding lah.
You don't have drainage, you sewage systems, drainage systems and all that. Internal ones like plumbing and sanitary works, those are under M&E, it's not our civil work. External work is like the back manhole, septic tank, the perimeter drains, cover walkway, all these are under external work. And then you may have other things like parking.
So this one is all under external works,
up to you lah. You can actually break it down more instead of using the word external work. You can just go for the actual external work like drainage, sewage, you know, other external works, maybe like I said, parking and road work is under parking and all that, landscaping, you know, by itself lah. But I will say that you need to break that down more. You see, the plumbing, sanitation is actually can be one, air conditioning system can be one, but those are actually what we call M&E lah, mechanical works lah.
This one can put under M&E lah.
Yeah, not only can put under M&E, yeah. For mechanical work and then electrical works, you can split it lah, because it's a hospital work. Maybe you want something more detailed, you know.
Okay. So I'm gonna discuss it with my team, then fix on that, then email it to you later lah. By this week.
Definitely your external, you are missing out time on the external of your hospital.
External for such as the parking and all that lah, like you mentioned it.
Yeah, you don't need drainage perimeter drains, man. You don't need water reticulation, man. You don't need drainage, man. You know.
Okay.
You don't need road work, including parking and all that. And then drainage work, are you going to include OSD as well, on-site detention? These are all part of external works, Parking and all that can be under road lah, you know, road and traffic lah, you know. So you also have your driveway, walk, you know, like all sorts of things lah, you know. So yeah. I think you're missing a very big area on the external works. External works, like I said, you don't have to use 7 external works, and put everything under external work, you can break the external work into individual external work, which is part of our civil work, you see.
Okay. So breakdown on external works,
Yeah. Like I say, it's like the infra, the infra around the hospital. Even the covered walkway is definitely it can be a walk by itself,
It's not under external.
Mm.
Can it be under external, Doctor? Can it be under external? No.
It should be external, but you're wasting your layer, you see. You put one external work and you put so many items under external work, and then you got enough of layer to cover later. So unless you put external work dash cover walkway as 7, external work dash drainage as 1 layer. 8. Number 9, external work water reticulation as 1 layer. Like that, you see?
Okay.
What I'm trying to tell you is I don't like it when students want to lump everything under like a very big category. Like you do put drain, walkway, water, sewage, 6 or 7, 5 different big things under one work called external work. That means you have not enough layer to cover later, you see?
Okay.
So instead of saying external work, number 7, 7.1, covered walkway, and then 7.1.2, then you put in all the detail, and then you don't have enough, you need to go to layer 4, you see, then you're wasting your layer. Then you put 7.2, like 7 external work, and then you put 7.2 pipeline work, and then you put third layer 7.2.1 pipeline. And then you don't have enough, you need to go to layer 4 or excavation and all that, then it becomes 4 layers. So why not you just put the actual work itself is layer 1, you see? I know they are all external work, but start to be specific even in the first layer. That is a common mistake among all the students. You put something too general under the first layer.
Okay, Doctor.
You have to truly understand, okay,
Yeah.
And these medical gas line systems these are different. The pipeline and all that is different from the water one, no?
Yeah.
Furniture and fittings is actually ID, we call it interior designs, ID work,
Can we include this together? Furnitures and fitting?
You can, but if me, I will put it under ID work and then furniture as one word, fittings as one word. Fittings is what? Iron Montgomery and all that? Is it like doorknobs or window frame,
Oh.
So you may have one, I would prefer if you have one architectural work instead of furniture and fittings. So far, I don't see any architectural work.
Okay.
It's okay, this is all under recording. So later on, you go back, we can actually do some recording work as well. You can actually look back, just remember the timing. What time is it now? It's almost 4 now, so about 3:50. So yeah, then later on we start at class at around 2:30. So then maybe you can search for the timing of your
Timing for three something.
1 hour and 10 minutes onwards. Maybe this is the comment for your group. Then you can, if you don't understand, you can go through it again now.
Oh yeah, sure.
So again, I repeat now, for your case, it's like you need to break down your structural work part into, go for the detail already, like foundation, structures, or you have architectural work already. So foundation, ground floor, roofing, so that is already 3 layers, you see. And then external work, I wouldn't want to use the word external to cover everything external. So maybe you can put 6 architectural, so 7 you will put under the ID and finishing and all that. If you want, if you put furniture and all that, I think you just put under what we call ID, which is part
Interior
of
design.
architectural lah, yeah. Yeah, or right after architecture, you can have another category called ID work lah, huh? So yeah,
Okay.
that one would be furnitures and fittings lah, huh? Hospital beds, equipment, machineries and all that lah, huh?
All right.
That one is under make it a more hospital kind of project lah, huh?
All right. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can have your mechanical works and all your mechanical works. If you want to split up into medical pipeline, supply of fire extinguisher, air conditioning, actually all these are mechanical work lah. I mean, like, is it necessary to break it down so much? Yeah, I mean, you can, I suppose.
I just put it under one layer, mechanical works.
Depending lah, if your layer not enough, later also susah, you know.
Okay.
And then your I think your civil work needs to come in a few layers. I mean, a few activities. So water, drainage, landscaping, cover walkways. So I think take off the word external works first, and then remember that you must have a civil work section.
Okay.
Okay, so that would be my major concern about your project. So I think everybody's work is about the same. I mean, like, you all did a good try, first try, and there is just room for improvement. No problem on. Okay, which group next? About you are the 3 of you are using the same project, right? Even for your assignment.
Yeah. Maybe we're using the same project.
Okay,
We
you use
gotta
the
get it
same
right
work
first.
breakdown. Use the same work breakdown, but I need you all to do your own later on.
Yeah.
When you do from the productivity rate and resources and all that, you must do your own. Otherwise, it will look exactly the same.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
You can share only your work breakdown structure and your project. That's all. The rest must be DIY.
All right.
Okay, Rama and Haiza and who?
Thank
And
you,
then the
Doctor.
last,
Only 2 of us.
only Haiza and Rama. So you use the same project or how?
The same project.
Same project,
Yeah.
Be careful again, for those of you using the same project, make sure that you know your only thing that you can share is your work breakdown only.
Okay.
Everything else must be DIY later on. From this point onward, everything must be DIY. And then the last group later is Roland. Roland with Marsha and siapa lagi? Marsha and Arthur. Yeah. Okay, can. Okay. Oh dear. Okay. You only have
Can
3
you see?
layers.
Yeah, so far 3. Maybe I need to think of another 4 layer.
No lah, I think your blue color one is actually you don't put it down as one of the layers. Those are just title only. So if you have your procurement please procurement you don't have to put like 1.1 to 1.7 procurement. That is like so procurement definitely should be under the construction work itself.
Okay.
From the look of it, you don't have enough layering.
That's why I'm thinking my first layer will be this. The first is prelim and GI works, and then earthworks, piping and piling, and then from the other groups, I know that.
What is your project?
Pardon?
What is your project? What is the nature of your project?
Okay. My project is the water treatment plant in Mituru.
Your thing is almost the same as Bakery, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, your is
so
I can see piping work. Okay, you go for structural work first or civil work first? You have to be very clear. So with your
Yeah.
piling work, after your piling work, you go for your structural work first. So structural work, instead of using structural work, is it a one-story? It is a one-story facilities, right? Treatment plant?
Yeah, one story, simple building.
Okay, so if it's a one-story thing, then you will go for your foundation, which include maybe some waterproofing and all that.
Yeah. I take note
Okay,
on
and
that
then,
from the previous group.
sorry?
I take note also from the previous group that share the same thing. So
Yeah. But you have to have a bit more things in terms of internally, I would say. So your structural work, instead of using structural work, so your 2.4 maybe can use like things like the structure itself first, the
okay.
ground floor, and then the the roofing. So that is structural work already. So you've got 2 layers under structural work, okay? And then you will have, because it's the treatment plant, definitely internally you are doing other things like different tanks and processing areas and all that. So that is the part that you can break it down further. Meaning
Okay.
that under structural work, you have your
Like this, I got tank and the process area.
Process area and powerhouse can be two different things.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So
And
then
then
after that you do your civil work. Your civil work, instead of using the civil work, you use the word piping, for example. So is it external piping or internal piping? If it's internal piping, that means you have another layer under internal piping, meaning that from one tank to the other tank, you've got different piping, and then from the the external one are the one that comes from the raw water piping, to when you send the water out to the reservoir. So that will be external piping. Internal piping will be between tank to tank and all that. Yeah, areas to areas. So you may have another internal piping work. Yeah.
yeah,
So
okay.
external will be including things like path, drainage, like what you've gotten down here already, lah.
Yeah, I'm going to break down it into layer 1,
Correct.
fencing, walk path, drainage.
Correct.
And also later on is M&E works will be also under layer 1.
Yes. I mean, you can either put everything under layer 1, or you can have it with what I see now: installation of treatment plant, the
Electrical
software,
and
the software things, and then or the piping connection. Yeah, that one would be like what I said just now, the internal one between area to area, treatment to treatment. And that one can be under. You don't have to put under M&E, and then like that will reduce your layer. You see, so you straight away you go to installation of piping work for treatment, for example, installation of equipment, installation of electrical works, installation of solar panels. So that would be 4 layers already.
4 layers, yeah. Understand.
Okay.
And the last layer will be the testing and commissioning.
Okay.
Yeah, only that.
Yep. So I think you're clear, because we've already talked about it.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
And then your procurement, you can go under, like you can put it as one of the activity in layer 2 for all the individual activities. Okay.
Okay, all right. Thanks.
Like for example, you to buy the solar panel car, you want to buy the equipment for the treatment car, the M&E equipment. That one you can put it under that particular item, the procurement, which means the ordering and delivery of those items.
Okay, sure.
You understand, Rama? Are you also using treatment as well?
Yes. Almost similar like my career.
You're in the same company, is it?
No, different. Our background almost the same.
I mean, I am from the water areas, so these sort of things I'm quite familiar. Yeah, but I can't find the word waterproofing. What a shame.
Waterproof membrane.
water something. My gosh, my diarrhea is causing me to lose water from my brain.
Good, but good. Good.
Any questions from your group, Rama?
No more. It's only that we try to
Okay,
improve
excellent.
on our layering.
And your presentation with this sort of the way that you do this like this is actually nice, you know. I mean, you can sort of like make it as part of the report, don't waste it, you know, and then but when you come to the actual write-up of the WBS, is actually something else. I mean, like you need to present it in maybe another way, lah, huh?
Yeah, the master WBS is something like this, but I also need to rearrange my sequence.
Yeah. Okay. I think
Okay.
from today you start to see how other people sort of like do the layering and all that. We're all sharing
Yeah.
we're all sharing our ideas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Roland Group.
Okay, doctor. I will share the, our opinion. There's two things. One is the group assignment, which is we will represent by Nola. I share the document, but Marshall will do the explanation, and after that there will be a individual lah. Just we have also done also.
So your individual is different from your group,
Yes, because apa ni? Different.
Okay.
Okay.
It's the same thing. It'd be nice.
Okay.
Okay, doctor. So this is our draft for our project, doctor, which is the construction of. Sorry.
NC doctor.
Yeah, sekolah project. Yeah, this is my project also. So this is the project background, roughly. Let's scroll down. So more to project scope.
Ayo,
Project cost breakdown.
don't show me all these things, your money already, huh? I mean, you haven't done the assignment yet, okay?
Okay, this is the part of the works explanation, doctor.
Okay, so I think you only got 8 and 9. So how to do a work breakdown with only 8?
This is will be okay. Next. This is our work breakdown. Yeah.
Demolishing should be one layer. Don't put earthwork and demolition work together. You're wasting your layers, okay?
Okay, but this project, some of earthwork and demolish depend on each other, doctor, because it replace the existing building, and then after that we can do the earthwork lah, something like that lah. Yeah, that's why we.
Earthwork. Earthwork is different. Earthwork is not site clearing, okay? Earthwork is actually cut and fill. So
okay.
If you're doing demolition work, you should put demolition work first, meaning that you are either doing site clearing first, or you can put site clearing and demolition work, but definitely not earthwork and demolition work. So site clearance means that you're taking away all the debris, the kayu, the pokok, the plants and everything. That is site clearance. Site clearance can go with demolition. So you can have demolition work first, and then after that you can do a bit of site clearance. So that one could be under one layer, and then you can have the earthwork as a third activity.
Okay, doctor.
Yeah, so earthwork is like you go and cut which mountain and put it, at your site, or you buy the soil and and put it on the site, and then you need to do settlement, If not, then you take the soil away, you go and dump it.
Understand.
Yeah. So and then number 3 is the biggest mistake that I've been talking about. You never put like something like that as a first layer. So you should straight away, you want to build this 4-story academic block, okay? That academic block will not be your first layer. Your first layer will be piling work for academic work.
Because they are another building also after this, doctor. I go building by building.
Yeah, then you have enough.
Sorry?
How many layers do you have? You have 12 layers?
No, going down. Check first.
Go down.
This is the other building.
Nah,
This is the other
only 10
building.
layers.
This is the other building.
Only 10 layers. No, your work breakdown is too little. So go back to your first
Okay.
second page. Yeah. Okay, so I think you should do like piling work or foundation work. Foundation work for foundation work. So your number 4 is foundation work. You can put four-story academic work, dash foundation work. And then 5 is 4-story academic work, building works or structural work if you
Oh.
want to. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So structural work, you should also, if you want a bit clearer, it should also go by, you go by first floor as a first, second floor as a more of the second layer. That's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. So then that means straight away your academic block here, you already have 2 layers extra. I mean, you've got 2 layers. Okay.
Okay.
And then your go down again. And then your second one also the same thing. Foundation work for 2-story dormitory block. And then structural work for, you see, structural work is structural work. Structural work is not, we don't call it building work. So it's like roofing work is called structural work. So you may have a third layer called architectural work for that building, mechanic M&E for that building. You see, so then in all the building you have about 4 layers. You see, foundation,
Okay.
structure, architecture, M&E.
Oh, okay.
Then your architecture, if your architecture would become your layer 1 already, that means it's a lot easier for you to write layer 2, things like floor ka, finishing ka, plastering ka, painting ka, you know. And then your M&E would be, if you do it like this now, if I want you to break it down, what is M&E electrical work? If you go to the 4th layer already, then it's very big already, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it becomes really big. You cannot describe the activity anymore. So same goes with the dining hall, everything. So this is the same thing. About 4 layers each. Go down again. Yeah. Because your pump house and your dining and all this may have different things inside there. So you do want to have a better description of your M&E or architectural work, you know.
Okay.
The external work, again, I wouldn't put like one external work like what I described to you just now. Instead of putting external work, you should just put drainage work, covered walkway, water reticulation, landscape, you see, turfing, landscape. So that is already your 7.1 to 7.4 can easily be 1 layer each by itself. And do you need any road work, parking, and all that? So that one could be another layer as well under. I mean, like we all know that it's under external work, but you know you don't really want to put something so big, you know, so that then you don't have enough layers to describe your drainage, to describe your walkway, to describe. The main thing is with scope breakdown is you want to have a description. You want to describe your work for engineers to remind ourselves that there's a lot of things to be done, you see. So if you already limit yourself to second layer drainage work, then how many, you only got 1 and 2 more layers to describe drainage work properly. So we don't want that. So make drainage work the first layer, make walkway the first layer, make water reticulation the first layer, make road work your first layer, make fence, turfing, landscape maybe can be fencing, everything under 1 layer lah. So that one can be landscaping work, you know, so you can put under landscaping work, you can have turfing, you can have gardens, you can have fencing, you know, that can be under landscape, for example. So then you see straight away under landscape, you've got a more clearer description of your scope of work. And then you break it down again. If you need to break it down 3rd layer, and the layering will still look very easily understandable. If we go to 5 layers and 6 layers, you will lost yourself also. Even 4th layer, we don't do it unless it's very necessary. Unless it's really some specific specialty work that you really need to remind yourself that it has to be there, maybe under M&E or under whatever a structure, that it has to be there, that you don't want to make yourself forget about it, then you can have a 4th layer. Now, normally 3 layers is more than good. Okay, so I think easily you can have 16 or 17 or even 20 layers from your work breakdown. Okay, and in fact, if you are worried about the whole project, maybe you can you can even describe just 2 or 3 buildings. You don't have to describe all the buildings as well.
Okay.
Remember that later on, the more layers you have, the more work you will also have, you see. Especially during the costing bit later, when you want to do all these building together, you're not going to give me the costing like what you show me just now. It's going to be a full-on detailed estimates, so with the layering, with the resources, with the time that you do with Dr. Lee, and then when the costing comes in, you need to break it down into manpower, resources, manpower, machinery, materials. There's going to be a lot of work. So the more layers you have, like up to 20 layers, you're going to do this quite in a lot of details. I mean, it's okay because it's a group work, there's 3 of you, so each one of you can pick a few layers to work on. That's fine. That's the purpose of having group work. Huh? You're not going to do it all by yourself. Okay? So I think you still want to show me your individual assignment or
Yes,
you're okay after this?
I can show just quick one because my one is very simple, Doctor. Share.
So Marsha, you're going to use this as your the one that you show me just now as your assignment?
Yes, that one is our assignment, Doctor.
Okay.
I have another project for individual. I have another project, Doctor.
Oh, you have another one. Okay, why don't you use the same one?
But similar to that one.
Okay, it's similar, then no need to show me, huh?
Yeah. The same scope of work.
Same scope of work, so you know how to break it down, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, Roland, so can you show me your work breakdown?
Okay,
it's similar, I would say, huh?
Yeah, this is the whole project lah.
Wow.
This is the picture lah, so that you can see. Just take the main building only because the rest will become a very tedious. So I just do like this. My only for the building. Thing to do. We have the pipe putting, and then as level 2, I put the task lah. What is the task for the pipe putting, and for the stump, what is the task? The ground beam also, what is the task? Ground slab. Then after that, superstructure is cut from ground column, and then ground beam, roof beam, because you want single story. So this is the task. Mainly is the task. Then the roof goes to the roof trusses, fabrication installation, then roofing sheet. This is the activities lah involved. Okay. So then this is the last one, the architecture. Because I already have 16. If I further put M&E and also the external work, maybe more lah. So this is the actually just.
Okay. Some of this needs detail. Some of this don't. Meaning that architectural work, I will put it under level 1. And then your partition, brickwork, door work, windows, ceiling finishes, and all that, I will put it under level 2. And then your layer 2, so you need to shift your architectural work all to your right. Okay?
Okay.
So there will be 3 layers. But the structural work itself, can you go up again? Yeah, the structural work itself, the description of the structural work, I need you to be a bit more careful, okay? Instead of putting superstructure, I wouldn't want to describe it like that. So your first layer should be, if you want to go straight away to ground column, why is your ground slab and your ground column is not superstructure? I mean, like superstructure, I thought it's ground beam, ground slab. Where's the ground beam?
Yeah, doctor, substructure. Because it has contact with the earth.
Okay. Oh, you want to put it like that, huh?
Yeah, because the definition for substructure always is does contact with the earth. So whenever contact with the earth, consider substructure.
For me, always like anything below the first floor is substructure. Right. So I think this one here, write it like construction of foundation work. You know, foundation work, and then footing I think should be under layer 2, you know, and then stump should be layer 2, you know, and then ground beam should be layer 2. So I think you go by foundation or construction of substructure. So also give yourself some general and preliminaries or site clearance and earthwork to start off with as well. I think you should have that. Otherwise, it's not going to be a complete description of your project. So go for PNG, 1 layer. 2, you go for site clearance and earthwork. Site clearance 1 layer, earthwork 1 layer, and then your substructure. You put the word substructure in your level 1. So it's level 1 pad footing, for example. Okay, the substructure. If you have nothing to describe anymore, this is all the description that you need. You can put substructure as your level 1, okay? And then again, shift everything to your left, okay? I mean to your right, sorry.
Okay, can.
And then please come up with rooms for civil work. You need to have civil work like fencing, car park, water, drainage. That is part of the physical work.
Yes.
Even though you don't want to calculate the guardhouse, you know, or other parts of the project, you want to cover the main building only is fine, but you must cover some civil work, okay?
Can. There's a lot actually.
Yeah, and then go down because you are not, because you are putting this partition door, everything, these are not so important under, this one should be just under one architecture only, you know. Now you have 16 over these very, very small things like partition door, window, and all that, see? So if you reduce this, you're reducing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers already, 7 layers already. I would prefer that you put everything under architectural work. Your 9 to 16 becomes your layer 2 under that 1 layer of architectural work, and then you have your civil work.
Okay.
Then your civil work can be water, drainage, you know, 1 layer water, 1 layer drainage, 1 layer road, which include parking and all that, and then fencing, and then, you know, handover. So that one will be, make it like about 16 layers. That is really, really substantial. That is really describing your project. Because now you have a 16 layer that doesn't describe your project fully. You only describe that building only, but it doesn't describe the entire project. Okay?
Okay. So doctor, if I put this one under one title, architecture, and this one becomes yeah, this one I push here as number 1, and this one will push. Still remain, bahkan just become a level 2 and they become level 3.
Yeah. But it's only 1 layer. It's under one layer of architecture, so you're saving 6 layers already, bah.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Because I just concerned about the when you just now you said the come to the resources planning and also come to the scheduling and also costing. That is where the things can be kick in.
But at least you need to be able to fully describe the project properly. So we are, if you put like 7 layers here, that is actually doesn't mean anything one. Then you are actually wasting your effort also in that sense. Huh?
I've done this one also in the actual one. So actually there is almost 600 activities. So if I put everything in, boleh juga lah, no problem lah. Just put everything, the road lah, the guardhouse lah, the fencing lah, everything also can.
No need. I don't need you to go that detail. You just can do the building, that particular building with the external work. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
At least it looks like a full project. Now you are describing to me the way that you're describing the architectural work, you have got seven layer one, you know. I mean, if architecture was so important that you need to take 7 layers of your whole entire, 16 layers, you see.
Because they are the most expensive, doctor. Most costing.
And I mean, like, you can put that down, but I prefer it to be the architectural work 1 layer.
Okay.
You as civil engineers, we concentrate on the other things, on our C and S,
Okay. Stop sharing.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, doctor, for your advice.
no problem. Arthur, you want to show me anything, or you are same as just now we see the same as McCurry and also Haiza's and also Rama's group.
Yeah, it's the same, doctor. But I'm not sure is it okay or not because the scope of work like no is 100% same as me. So I'm not sure, but I still have time to change it, right?
Yeah, you still have time. I mean, like, this is only week 3. I would say that I want you all to settle your work breakdown factor before week 5. Because I want to hand over you all this work breakdown factor to Dr. Lee later on in week 5, you see. So everything has to be settled before week 5.
Okay.
Have you told me or not?
Sorry?
Want to show me your work or not now?
Okay. My work a bit messy, doctor. I think okay, why not? I can show you. I mean, it's very messy lah. I tried.
You try to remember the comment that I give to McCurry and to Norama's group just now. If
Yeah,
you need to break it down like that.
I take the comment from the Macquarie and no, I do it again lah.
Can.
It's almost the same mistake lah. I no need to show. I don't think lah.
I can imagine it's almost the same thing.
Yeah, maybe someone else lah, doctor.
Done already. I think everybody is settled already. Okay, I think that's all. Yeah. So we have already looked at about almost 14 assignments and about in some group show me group work. So I think we look at about 10 assignments today. I think you have a lot of references to improve on your work breakdown structure, And yeah, if you need me to comment, if you're really confident, then it's okay. Then if you need me to comment, like I said, my email address, I put it on the chat box already. You just have to email me before the week 5 class starts. Okay, so the best is you take next week to finish it up, and then the following week you email me, and then we can start to do a bit of commenting via email. So yeah, I think that's all for today. And remember to go to Elite. I will post up the lecture notes for life cycle costing and PE and the pre-recorded lectures are about 30 to 40 minutes each for each component. So you can just listen to it tomorrow or tonight, and go through it. Every segment is about 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes like that. Yeah, so I will post it up in a while after I finish with you, and then after I finish the class, then yeah, you can take a look, go through it before the next class, which is on next Sunday. Like I said, this one is on LCC because a lot of things in LCC, especially dealing with annual cost and present value, you will use that. You will use a technique that Dr. Lee will teach you next week. You see, so the calculation bit she's covering with you already. So my one is more on the theory of LCC and VE. You see, so from there, you just take it and learn about the background of how to carry out VE, how to carry out LCC. It's part of scope management. Like remember last week we finished up saying that you need to look at the project work, and also you need to look at the long-term viability, which means the operation and maintenance of the project as well. You see, so yeah, so this is what we are covering this week with you lah. So go and take a look, listen to those pre-recorded lectures. If you are stressed out by it, just listen to the LCC first, and then tomorrow night listen to VE. So you have 4 weeks just to listen to that 2 components, okay? But you must listen to it first before the next class start. Otherwise, when Dr. Lee goes through those methods and analysis and all that with you, you won't be able to understand what she's trying to do with you, you see? Okay, so that's all for today. Any more questions?
Okay, doctor, no more questions.
Okay, so yeah, all the best with the assignment. So I'll expect your email in about a week or a week time now. A week, yeah, take about a week to clean up.
A week, okay.
And anyone that I missed, you want to show me your work or anything like that? No, right?
No.
Okay. Yep. If this, I think the attendance also all taken already. Yeah. And anyone else needs to take attendance with them? I think it's all taken already. 14 just now.
13 including you.
Who didn't take just now? 14. Yeah. All taken already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So well, have a good weekend. It's only 4:30. You can still go and go to the park and walk and do something. Okay.
Read lips.
All right. See you. And
Okay, doctor. See you.
yeah,
Thanks,
remember
Okay, doctor. Thank you.
remember what I said about RP. You know who you are. Okay.
Okay, doctor. Noted.
Okay.